We're joined again by Dr. Dwayne Elmore, who is our Extension Specialist for Natural Resource Ecology and Management. And Dr. Elmore, you know, as we go into the summer months, a lot of times we start looking at our landscape and thinking we need to add some plants. But you wanted to let us know about some horticulture plants that are causing pest problems, correct?
Correct.
So what are some of those? One we've got right here behind us that we're starting to see more and more.
Yeah, Bradford Pear or Calorie Pear is becoming a huge problem, especially in eastern Oklahoma, where it's naturalizing into what was formerly open prairie and converting it to a woodland of exotic pear.
Our landscapes are becoming more white with these flowers versus our natural native red buds.
Yeah, and the red bud is a great alternative. If, you know, if somebody wants kind of a small to medium tree that's very drought hardy, that has nice spring color, and one that's a lot more resistant to ice damage, then I would choose a red bud over the exotic pear.
So people are planting calorie pears in their front yards and not realizing the causes and effects that they're having out in the native area. And this is what's happening because of that one that a homeowner might have planted in their yard?
Yeah, and the birds disperse the fruit, and this one is a feral pear that's gotten out from someone's landscape via seed. So yeah, what you're planting in your landscape is affecting, you know, the neighbors and the larger landscape and a lot of wildlife and native plant species. So
what are some other horticulture plants that we tend to think are great landscape plants, but they really are causing problems in the natural areas?
So several of the vines are really problematic. English ivy, the wisterias, and Japanese honeysuckle are all highly invasive and are naturalized over large parts of the eastern United States. And there's great native alternatives that you can use instead. Things like trumpet creeper and Virginia creeper are readily available and are very attractive and aren't invasive.
And it's funny because we know that Virginia creeper, a lot of times people confuse that with poison ivy, and it's not. It's a completely harmless plant. It won't cause a skin irritation. It has beautiful fall foliage. It turns bright red, and it's used a lot over in Europe, but we kind of underappreciate it because it just grows wild here.
Yeah, if it has 5 leaves, it's not poison ivy. Poison ivy has 3. So it has 5 leaf, compound leaf, nice foliage as you mentioned, good shape. It's very attractive to wildlife, and it produces a lot of fruit.
Okay, and some of the plants also that we're concerned with are water hyacinth and yellow iris. Some of our water plants are causing problems.
If you have a water garden, be real particular about the plants you're using, because several of those can escape and get into streams and clog waterways, and some of these plants cause, you know, just billions of dollars of damage in the United States every year in our rivers and streams.
They're actually, I've heard, preventing ships from getting through canals in some situations.
That's true.
And they've been banned in some of the southern states where they don't die out every year, but we're starting to see that problem in our southern part of the state also.
Yeah, you know, Oklahoma, we're on a real big transition between a humid climate and a dry western climate, so we're kind of on the edge of where some of these species are invasive, but a lot of them we don't know yet how invasive they can be. You know, 10 years ago people didn't think Bradford Pear was a problem, and now people are starting to look around and say it's everywhere. So that's the problem with a lot of these invasives, is we don't always know the potential of these plants. So using native when you can, or using proven plants that have shown that they do not naturalize in the landscape.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us. And if you want to know more about some of these horticulture pest plants before you go plant your landscape, check out this fact sheet for alternative plants you might want to use.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.